Hey vinyl community, it's Phil from Destinational Vinyl. This is episode 5 of my A through Z of my vinyl collection for helping me to organize it on Discogs. I am at LE. I just did Zeppelin on the last version. I'm going to go from LE to Aussie on this one. Okay, so I'm going to start with some Brenda Lee, the best of. John Lennon solo, Walls and Bridges. This is not a first pressing, but it is in mint condition. Imagine, that is a first pressing, and that is in almost mint condition. Cover's got a little bit of wear. Rock and Roll, Shaved Fish, and of course Double Fantasy. And his son, Julian Lennon of a lot. And to Huey Lewis, Sports. I think everybody in the dog has that one, or did have at one point. Huey Lewis 4. Good songs on it. Into Canadian folk legend Gordon Lightfoot. I have a few of his. This is, did she mention my name? Dream Street Rose, this is a promotional copy. It's a really good album. Shadows. This is called Back Here on Earth, one of his earlier ones. And again, these are all out of order by year, but once I get them on Discogs and organized, I'll put them back into order. This is a live version, Sunday concert. And this is only one disc. I wish that had been 2. This is a K-Tel album, fantastic, Gordon Lightfoot. I know it's K-Tel, and I have a separate section for K-Tel, but that's just for all the ones that has the miscellaneous hits all over them. If it's focused on a particular artist, I'll put it under the artist's name. Sit Down Young Stranger. So got the hype sticker on there. This is a greatest hits album, classic Lightfoot. Again, a lot of the older original songs on it. This is an Australian import of Don Quixote. And Sundown, another classic album of his. If you're into Gordon Lightfoot, you love that one. Gord's Gold is a 2-album greatest hits compilation. Cold on the Shoulder, and another really good album, Summertime Dream. This has a record of Edmund Fitzgerald and Racing the Ruins on it, 2 classic songs. Endless Wire, and Salute, one of my favorites of his. And this is East of Midnight, a newer, it's from 1986. Man, still performing, he's 80 something. David Lindley, El Rayo X. Only reason I have that album is for Mercury Blues. I didn't really care for the rest of it. It was all reggae. I didn't really care for that album that much. Little River Band, self-titled debut album. First Under the Wire. Diamantina Cocktail. These are all first pressings. I bought these all new when they came out. This I found in the dollar bin in a record store last year, I want to say. This is a radio play only, not for sale. This is a on-air interview of the guys, playing a couple of songs, snippets of the songs and interviewing them. Interesting listen if you're a fan of the band. Sleeper Catcher. In my opinion, a greatly underrated live album. This is a double album, Backstage Pass. It's just great. I saw them once when they played the local open-air football stadium here back in the early 80s. Yeah, with 5 or 6 other bands. A little summer fest, and it was great. That's Time Exposure. That's a really good album too. Burnett and Monsoon. I've played these, but I actually don't remember that much about them. I'm a little bit of a completist when it comes to some band, and I really like those guys, so that's probably why I have them. Another local Vancouver band, Loverboy, their first release, and Get Lucky. Not really that big a fan of these guys. Loving every minute of it, but when I do play vinyl parties, people want to hear them. Complete end of the spectrum here. This is Vera Lynn, Britain's wartime darling with all her cheer up the troop songs. She just passed away last year at 99 or 98, something like that. Beautiful lady. Manhattan Transfer, Mecca for Moderns. Barry Manilow, Greatest Hits, and Live. I know I played this one once, but I really don't remember how good it was. I have to play it again. Let's see. Nick Mason, Fictitious Sports. Pink Floyd solo project of his. This is McCartney and Wings, Wildlife. I got all Wings filed under M for McCartney since he's the obvious leader of the band. And this is a self-titled album. I gotta put these things in order. Ram, well-used copy of that. Band on the Run. This is a reissue, but it's a few years old. It's in really nice shape. Venus and Mars. This is the first pressing I bought off a guy locally who had a whole bunch of albums for sale. He bought the album, played it once to record it, and that was it. He never played them again. And one day just sold them all off, and I picked up a few from him. At the Speed of Sound. That's a bad cover. Wings Over America. One of the best live albums ever. And Wings Greatest. And I got Tug of War. London Town. A lot of ringware on it. It's a well-used copy. Back to the Egg. That's it for my McCartney solo. I got 5 more in this box. This Mclean American Pie. Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell. I did have an original copy of this, but it got very well used and worn. And this is a new pressing. Men at Work, Business as Usual. And Cargo. I don't know if they did a third album or not, but those two are really all I need from them. And Metallica, the Black Album. Of course, this is new vinyl. I don't have an original copy. The original copy came out on vinyl at all. I know I had it on CD. Okay, next box. Oh, George Michael, Faith. It's a great album. Tom Middleton. It wouldn't have made any difference. I know that's a good song. Can't remember anything else off now. I'll have to make a note to play that again, see if I want to keep that or not. Midnight Oil from Australia. Diesel and Dust. Good album. And this is Red Sails in the Sunset. Fantastic cover. And the album's really good too. And then for those people of mine that like to dance to old music, you know, like do these vinyl parties, Glenn Miller's Greatest Hits. I have a couple who took ballroom dancing lessons and lots of lessons like that, and they love to dance to that stuff, so I always play it for them. The Steve Miller Band, Fly Like an Eagle. Book of Dreams. Greatest Hits 74 to 78. I saw Steve Miller Band 2-3 years ago. They played one of the local hockey arenas, and Peter Frampton opened for them, and I thought Peter Frampton blew them away. I was a little disappointed with Steve Miller Band. Looks like they just sort of raced through their set and couldn't wait to get off the stage. Really wasn't impressed. A little disappointed. From back east in the Maritimes, Minglewood Band. Matt Minglewood, fantastic guitar player. And this is another one, Minglewood Band. I'm not sure which one is their debut. They're both self-titled. And Move In. And this one of my favorite album covers and one of my favorite top 10 albums. Out on a Limb is just a killer album. Just fantastic. And Minglewood 5. And Best Of. And yeah, very grossly underrated guitarist. Often left out of great guitarist conversations. I don't know why, man. Sure play. An old copy of Joni Mitchell Blue that I picked up recently. We've been looking for a long time. That'll do if I can find an upgrade. Other local artist Kim Mitchell with solo from the band Max Webster, which he was singer for. And this is Shaken Like a Human Being. Southern Rock, Molly Hatchet. Debut album, fantastic covers these guys had. Beating the Odds. The music only doesn't quite keep pace with the album covers. It's Southern Rock. It's good, but it doesn't lead up to what you think this is a really good heavy metal band by looking at that cover, but it's just Southern Rock. And Take No Prisoners. It started slipping by that point in their career, in my opinion. And I've got one more of theirs, but I'll show that. Gosh, I'll show it now. The Deed Is Done. It's a fantastic album cover. That's in my to be played box. I haven't played that one yet, so I'll put it back there. Mr. Eddie Money, his debut album, and No Control, and Can't Hold Back. Let's see, where do we go here? Oh, again for the parties, the Best of the Monkees. Not a huge fan, but people don't seem to want to hear them. A lot of these are from my DJ days too, when people wanted to hear stuff that I didn't particularly care for. Some of it's grown on me over the years, and some of it has not. Oh, this is just a great album, The Monks' Bad Habits. And their second effort, I think this was the second or third effort, Suspended Animation. Nowhere near on a par with the first album. It's still a good album cover. Montrose, their debut album. That's a really good one. Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill. Another Canadian band, The Motels. All for One. And this is called Careful. Yeah. And Shock. They were a good band in their day. They should have had a longer career than what they did. And I got a few Motley Crue. I'm not a huge fan of Motley Crue, but they seem to have one or two songs on each album that I want to have. So, Too Fast for Love, Theater of Pain, and one I picked up a while back that I haven't had a chance to play yet is Shout at the Devil. They had a one of those docudramas of theirs on Netflix last year, and I watched about 20 minutes of it. It was disgusting. Bunch of idiots, in my opinion. Maria Muldaur. This has Midnight at the Oasis on it. A couple other good songs on it. I haven't really played all of that album. Canadian Songbird, a great pioneer for Canadian music. Anne Murray, greatest hits. Not a big fan, but I respect her. I respect her talent. And people do want to hear that stuff occasionally when I do play parties. Alana Miles from back east in Canada, Ontario. The debut album. This thing rocks. If you haven't heard this, you need to hear this if you like hard rock. One of the best, one of the most underrated female vocalists in my opinion. On to Scottish. Nazareth. This is a UK import. I think this is their debut. Hair of the Dog. Really good album. Loud and Proud. Fantastic. Even Better. Rampant. Nazareth's Greatest Hits. Which some people say that's all they need, but they have other good stuff too. Close Enough for Rock and Roll. That's a really good album too. They have a whole bunch of good albums. Expect No Mercy. Playing the Game, a muchly underrated album in my opinion. That's a really good one. No Mean City, another great one. Malice in Wonderland. I think that came out in 1980 or 81. 1980. This is called Houseful or Full House? No, Snaz. Well, Snaz, pardon me. That's a live album. And then after that, they sort of went downhill, in my opinion. I stopped buying them. They had a whole slew of albums out. There's nothing that I found particularly entertaining. Sound Elixir. I sort of lost interest in them after that. And I found this one for $5 a while back, and I thought, well, just put it in the collection. Why not? Full Circle. Weird cover. And we get into All My Best, Ricky Nelson. Really, Ricky could have picked a nicer pose for the cover than that. This is a sort of progressive rock band, New England. Not bad, pretty good. I never heard another one by them, but that's a pretty good album. Quiet Lies, Juice Newton, and Juice. Olivia Newton-John, Greatest Hits 1 and 2. And Totally Hot. Yeah, she still is to this day. Stevie Nicks. Okay, Belladonna. And The Wild Heart. The Other Side of the Mirror. And this is Rock a Little. I don't remember that album. I'm going to have to go through. Some of these I haven't played in so many years. I'm going to have to go through and make up my mission to stay up 24 hours or so and take about 48 hours, playing a whole bunch of albums I haven't played in a long time. Nirvana, Nevermind. Night Ranger, Dawn Patrol. Again, airplane themed, and I love airplanes, especially World War II aircraft. This is Seven Wishes. And this one is, I think, the debut. No, Midnight Madness. That's all I have from Night Ranger. Okay, more. Another Canadian artist, Aldo Nova, his debut album. This, again, is one of my favorites. This is just not a bad song, it just rocks from front to finish. Subject is follow-up. Not as good as Step Down, in my opinion. But still not a bad album. And Twitch, he sort of lost me at this one. Not high in my books. That one might not survive my call. I might let that one go. Ted Nugent, State of Shock. Scream Dream. Man, this guy has some interesting covers. Weekend Warriors, that's a good one. Cat Scratch Fever. That's a good album. All-time greatest hits of Roy Orbison. A lot of great ones on that. Gilbert O'Sullivan, Back to Front. He did, what was on this? Claire was in that, that's a good song. That was it. Only album by him I've got. I got the others. His other hits on singles, 45s. And Ozzy, Blizzard of Oz, and Speak of the Devil. I'm trying to find a copy of Diary of a Madman, but I can't find a good copy of that. And that is a nice short one. That'll cut this through just about 20 minutes. Cuts those 2 boxes. And we'll take a break from doing this because this is my 3rd video this morning, and I'll come back maybe tomorrow and do a few more. I'm going to watch these and start writing down things I've missed entering in Discogs. Put them back in order. So thank you, and I'll see you again.